now. Good evening and welcome to this edition of RMU Live for Tuesday, March 3rd, 2009. I'm Mark Coddington.
And I'm Andre Steed. Coming up on RMU Live, Governor Ed Rendell is contemplating how to spend the state's stimulus cash.
But first, an area organization makes an important discovery. Could a local company have found an information lead in a national security matter? Cranberry-based Triversa, an organization that monitors peer-to-peer file-sharing networks, found blueprints and other technical information on Marine One. That's President Obama's helicopter, located in an IP address based in Tehran, Iran. Although Triversa refuses to name which contractor it was that leaked the information, they have explicitly said that it was not Lockheed Martin, who had previously been believed to have been the culprit. Similar breaches have been noticed coming from Pakistan, Yemen, Qatar, and China.
Due to a dwindling number of staff members and an equally dwindling budget, Wings Over Pittsburgh has been canceled this year. The Pittsburgh Area Air Show regularly drew crowds of over 250,000 and was regarded as one of the most popular in the country. However, members of the 9/11 Airlift Wing are holding out that the show can be held again in 2010. The show was originally scheduled for June 20th and 21st.
Well, it seems Governor Ed Rendell has an important question on his mind: what to spend the new stimulus package money on. With schools in dire need of repair, bridges looking as though they are close to collapsing, and Pennsylvania having a 6.9% unemployment rate, there are several problems the state needs to fix. Governor Rendell says that his first priority is to create more jobs. However, he also wants to make every dollar count and spread the stimulus money around in several areas. Rendell claims that there just isn't enough money to go around for everyone.
West Penn Allegheny Health System has reported a loss of $5.6 million over the last financial quarter, which ended December 31st. The network, which consists of 6 hospitals, lost $63 million over the last fiscal year, a loss attributed to $73 million accounting error, which overstated net accounts receivable. Despite this, West Penn Allegheny Chief Executive Dr. Christopher Olivia still expects all of his hospitals to be profitable by July.
A man claiming a lookalike robbed a bank during the Steelers Super Bowl parade has been charged in connection with the same robbery. Keith Muschik went to police headquarters in an attempt to clear his name after seeing surveillance footage of a man who looked quite similar robbing the Huntington Bank in Smithville Street, but ended up being arrested. The robber was wearing a black and gold Steelers jacket but was splashed with red dye after a dye packet hidden in the stolen money exploded. All the money that was taken has been recovered.
Some might say that he is an American hero, but putting that aside, Bob Woodward has written 14 national best-selling books, 11 of them going to #1, more so than any other nonfiction author. The world-renowned journalist will be appearing as part of the Pittsburgh Speaker Series Wednesday, March 4th at 8 p.m. Woodward teamed up with fellow Washington Post reporter Carl Bergstein back in the 70s to uncover Richard Nixon's involvement in the Watergate scandal, a scandal which led to Nixon's resignation. On March 18th at 6 p.m. in the cafeteria, RMU Radio will present Battle of the Rock Bands, a contest where numerous groups of friends get together and compete for who is the best band on the hit video game Rock Band. Winners will receive gift cards or one of several other fabulous prizes. For more details, you can email RMU Radio at rmu.edu.
Coming up, more dire financial news.
Plus, Channing Frampton is back and has your local weather forecast. Stay tuned.
In case you didn't keep count, those 2 Jell-O shots and 5 beers that I had with Greg really cost me. I mean, my license, $400 in court costs, $350 in other fees. My parents won't let me go on spring break until I pay back all the money that they lent me. Plus, I had to spend a night in jail. I have no car, so my friends have to chauffeur me around everywhere, or else I have to frickin' walk. And I mean, how uncool is that to walk anywhere?
Extreme behaviors have extreme costs.
My name's Lisa, and in 9 years I'll be an alcoholic.
Hi, Lisa.
I'll start drinking in 8th grade, and I'll do some things I don't really want to do. So by the time my parents talk to me about it, alcohol won't be my only problem.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
My parents won't believe it could happen to me.
Tick.
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 Massive heat waves.
Heat waves.
Tick. Severe droughts.
Tick. Tick.
Tick. Tick. Tick.
Devastating hurricanes.
Tick. Tick. Tick.
Tick. Tick. Tick. Tick.
Our future is up
Tick. Tick.
to you.
Tick.
Go to fightglobalwarming.com while there's still time.
You know, Clarence, you and I should hang out more often. You know, he wears these cheap suits, but they look good on him.
So she says, why lobster?
You never know when a colon polyp is going to show up.
Aunt Ethel, you've been ducking me since '99 at St. Mary's. You
Get
owe
the
me a
polyp
pie.
early and stop colon cancer before it starts.
Do I look fat in this?
Don't wait for symptoms. Get the test. Get the polyp.
They love me. They want me here, don't you? Come on.
Get the cure.
These are my peeps.
The first infrastructure repair project funded by the Transportation Department's share of the $787 billion stimulus package has begun. The project calls for Maryland State Highway 650 to be resurfaced, a road that hasn't been fully repaired in 17 years, according to Transportation Secretary Roy LaHood. The cash infusion will lead to an estimated 60 jobs, including bringing back employees that were previously laid off. President Obama says an additional 200 construction projects will be started within the next few weeks as a part of his plan to create or save 150,000 jobs by the end of 2010 through investments in highways alone. Obama also said that highways need to be maintained so that they will be safer and lead to less traffic fatalities.
AIG could be going through more financial woes than originally thought. The insurance company reported a $62 billion quarterly loss on Monday, which is the largest quarterly loss reported in any company ever. The government will intervene in an effort to prevent AIG's collapse, utilizing a plan which will give AIG $30 billion in exchange for preferred stock. This is the fourth time the government has stepped in to bail out AIG. The company received $150 billion in federal aid since September.
In other economic news, HSBC, the largest bank of Europe, reported a 70% drop in profit. On top of that, HSBC has cut 6,100 American jobs and will scale back lending in the United States after the collapse in subprime mortgage-backed securities. HSBC has been avoiding bailout money, opting instead to turn investors into new capital, all while cutting its dividend and not paying bonuses to its top executives.
The search for the missing football stars will soon be coming to an end. The United States Coast Guard has announced that they will suspend their search at 6:30 p.m. later this evening. The boat of Raiders linebacker Marquis Cooper, free agent lineman Corey Smith, and former college player William Bleakley have all been missing since Saturday when their boat overturned Saturday afternoon.
Early Tuesday, the Sri Lankan national cricket team was ambushed in the Pakistan town of Lahore before a cricket match against Pakistan. The attack occurred around 9 a.m. local time when at least 12 gunmen with automatic weapons opened fire on the team's convoy. 7 security guards and a driver were killed, with 8 players being hurt, 2 of them by gunfire. A local umpire was also critically injured. Pakistan is set to host the 2011 Cricket World Cup, which means this attack will raise legitimate security concerns before the event.
The president of the West African nation of Guinea-Bissau was assassinated Monday. President João Bernardo Vieira was murdered just one day after his rival, General Tagme Niwe, was killed when a bomb was detonated in his office. The bombing wounded 5 other military officials, 2 of them critically. Guinea-Bissau is rated one of the 5 poorest countries in the world and has a history of military coups since winning independence from Portugal in 1974. Well, don't call it a comeback, but Michael Jackson may be returning to the stage. Outside organization, the public relations company that represents Jackson in the UK, has sent out email invitations to a press conference in the O2 Arena where Jackson is expected to announce a series of comeback concerts. The pop megastar has kept a relatively low profile since being acquitted of sexual child abuse charges in 2005. Jackson's last live performance, was in the 2006 World Music Awards in Britain. Weather.
Spring break coming up.
Yes, it
Old
is.
man Winter hanging out, huh?
Hopefully he could get out of here.
I hope so.
Yeah. So why don't we find out? Channing, what's in store for us in coming days?
Well, Mark, Old Man Winter does look like he's going to be making an exit from the Moon Township area, but as far as today is concerned, the temperatures have been quite cool. Temperature right now 23 degrees here in Moon Township with a dew point of 1 degree Fahrenheit. Now, if you know anything about weather, you know that that means it's very dry outside, so make sure you keep the humidifier going in your room or drink lots of water so you don't get dehydrated. Humidity is at 37%, pressure at 30.14 millibars. Inches, and the winds out of the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Take a look at the temperatures around the area. 22 in Beaver Falls, 20 in Butler, 21 in Kittanning, 23 in Pittsburgh, and 22 in Burgettstown. And if I took a bigger picture of the rest of the country, temperatures are running 28 degrees in Detroit, 30 degrees in Columbus, 32 in Charleston and Lexington. So down south, it's not much warmer. The temperatures are only running about freezing. For tonight, we see temperatures going down to about 12 degrees with clear skies because of the high pressure system that's over the area. It's going to let all that heat from today escape into the atmosphere. But for tomorrow, temperatures, well, for the almanac today, the high will be 24 degrees, low of 7, normal of 44 and 26, and our records of 75 and 0 degrees. It would be nice to have 75 degrees right now. For tomorrow's forecast, we see a turnaround with temperatures going up to around 40 degrees, sunny skies here on the Moon campus of Robert Morris. And for the 5-day forecast, it looks even better because we're going to be getting up around 50, right around the temperatures that we should be about this time of year, but a chance of rain showers lingers into this weekend. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Channing. Well, Ernie, just tell us what's going on in sports.
Well, I'll tell you what's coming up in sports. 2 Colonial teams are in the playoffs, and the Penguins visit the Lone Star State. But first, here's the athlete of the week.
At Robert Morris University, individuals matter, and these days are about more than business. We're nurses, computer experts, engineers, future teachers, graphic designers, and some of us are D1 student athletes. And we're still the best business school around.
Every day we're changing lives at Robert Morris University with active, engaged faculty teaching active, engaged students. Come check out how your world can expand at RMU.
He wears these cheap suits, but they look good on him.
So she says, why lobster?
You never know when a colon polyp is going to show up.
Aunt Ethel, you've been ducking me since '99 at St. Mary's.
Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it starts.
Do I look fat in this?
Don't wait for symptoms. Get the test. Get the polyp.
They love me. They want me here, don't you? Come on.
Get the cure.
These are my peeps.
Hear the one about the rabbi and the reverend who like to party? A community coalition got them together with local restaurant owners. Now they host drug-free kids' parties.
These guys know how to party.
It's just one example of what community coalitions can do. But it's not the only way to keep kids away from drugs. Visit helpyourcommunity.org to find out what your group can do. Because you get more
when you get together.
To say the Penguins season has been a roller coaster ride would be an understatement. At one point, they were in second place, and now they're fighting for a playoff spot. How they do in their most recent game in Dallas? Let's go to the American Airlines Center to find out. All right, Gino's going to have to take a load of this game, and, well, that's an understatement. Again, Malkin, he's going to pass to this Letang. Letang ain't nothing to mess with this goal. Top shelf, that celebration, very Wu-Tang Clan-esque, must say. Now, Gino, he's going to come out of nowhere and just slam us the door. Let's take another look at this. Boom! Love seeing that. He's calling for a penalty, but there would not be one. All right, now here comes one last ditch for the Penguins, and Gino's going to find the puck. Even I couldn't see it on the tape. Gino scores another goal. He had a 3-point night. Penguins would win this game 4-1. Staying with hockey, the trade deadline is coming up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Penguins general manager Ray Shero started putting his plans in place. The TNSN reporter is saying that Shero has placed winger Mirov Satan on waivers to order up for salary space. Now this move has circulation, numerous sources, to make a big trade. Last week, Shero acquired Chris Kunitz from Anaheim Ducks in exchange for Ryan Whitney. The Penguins return to action tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning at 7:30 at Versus. Now turning to baseball, the World Baseball Classic kicks off with the defending champions Japan taking on their rivals, the Korean, in the Tokyo Dome. Team USA will start playing on Saturday when they take on Canada in Toronto. Other teams in action this week will include the runner-up Cuban playing in South America in Mexico City, and the Netherlands, which will be facing off the Dominican Republic team in San Juan, Puerto Rico on Sunday. Now we turn our attention back on campus. This Thursday, Robert Morris men's basketball team will host the Terriers of St. Francis, New York edition, the first round in the NEC playoffs. This year, the Colonials split the series with St. Francis, an 87-79 loss at home and a 61-51 win on the road. However, the men's basketball squad is not the only playoff team bound on campus. The women's ice hockey team will be traveling to Mercyhurst Ice Center as they take on Wayne State in this series. The Colonials went 1-for-3 against the Warriors, but that one win did come on as 1-0 shutout win on senior night. Now let's take a look at the Colonial scoreboard, and this has been Ernie Bernard on Sports.
Now it's time for a little segment called the Baginski Report. Chris Baginski takes a pressing, breaking, or even controversial issue and gives his thoughts about the issue. The opinions and views expressed do not represent Robert Morris University, the Academic Media Center, or RMU-TV. Here's Chris.
If you take a look at the front page of the most recent issue of the Century, you'll notice that you may have to change your eating habits. That's because the food court will no longer provide to-go containers for meals. This change is part of the Robert Morris effort to go green, which seems to be the fashionable thing for everybody to do these days. But one thing that the university didn't seem to consider is how this is going to be inconvenient for quite a few students. College students are typically busy, having to go to class or do homework, among other things. Therefore, having the option to take food out of the food court is an often enticing one. Personally, I don't think I've ever eaten a meal here at RMU without doing something else at the same time. I've got things to do. I shouldn't have to set aside 15 to 20 minutes of the day to strictly eat. All I know is I hope the workers of the marketplace are ready because they're about to get a lot more business.
Chris, well, it looks like there will be a new addition to the first family soon. Sasha and Malia, the daughters of President Obama, will be receiving a new puppy in April as promised by their mother and father. The breed of choice? A Portuguese water dog known for its hypoallergenic coat and strong swimming abilities. I guess it's just one more campaign promise fulfilled by the president. And that...
Oh, I think it was a pretty good show.
Oh, yeah, well...
A lot of good stories.
A lot of good stories. Very interesting. What do you think about Michael Jackson?
I really don't think he's going to cut it.
I feel like he's coming back. I feel like he's been working on a new move for the past 4 years. You're not even ready for it.
Probably not, but...
He's probably, I don't, what do you think it is? He's probably going to levitate himself off the ground.
That would be impressive. That would be very impressive. I'd actually pay to see that.
In rhythm to the music. Thriller Part 2.
I'm like speechless right now. So, well, that's going to do it for us at RMU Live. For Ernie, Channing, and Andre, I'm Mark. Have a good night, Robert Morris.
The preceding program